Today we're going to talk about doing magic for other people and the possible moral implications that are involved there. Now, when I talk about doing magic for other people in this context, I'm talking about doing it for people who don't know you're doing it for them. And this is not working against them or anything like that, nothing baneful, purely for good reasons. But first, let's do the intro. Hi, I'm Lee, this is my channel, and if you'd like to support myself and this channel, then please do the usual stuff, like, subscribe, share, comment, and if you'd like to become a member, there is also the join button. Alright, so this came up in comments recently, doing magic for other people. You get cases where you want to help friends and family. Maybe a member of your family is struggling to get a job. Maybe a friend has a health issue that you can use magic to help with. But quite often what happens is they are not interested in magic, or they are part of a religion which may not quite accept your own path, but you still want to help them. Now, this can get a bit tricky and it can get a bit difficult, especially in regards to morals and ethics. We may say that, but we're trying to heal somebody or we're trying to help them improve their life, which is a good thing. There's nothing negative about it, and that's true. But the problem is, if we're doing something which is for somebody without their knowledge, is it ethical? You have to ask yourself this question, and nobody can really answer it for you. I'm just talking about it today to try and make you aware of a few things that you may want to consider before making the decision. We talk about free will. We can get into a whole discussion about free will versus fate here. But I don't want to do that because it's a topic which can go around in circles and continue to go around in circles forever and ever. But let's have a look at it from a few different perspectives. So we'll take an example. You have a family member who needs some kind of healing, and you can do magic in order to help with this healing process. Doesn't mean that you are taking away anything from them. You are only giving. However, I say that could be the chance that you are taking something away from them. The health issue they have, they may need in order to reach a particular point, that something comes into their life which is required in order for them to move forward in a fashion which is beneficial for them. By doing a healing without their knowledge, that process may not take effect. You could end up doing something which heals them, but it doesn't get them to the point where they need to be in their own path in order to bring that thing in. And this is why it's better to ask people if you can do X, Y, and Z before you actually do it and get their permission. If they say no, then don't do it. It's part of their path, it's part of their life. But again, we have this pressing need. We love somebody so much that we want to help them. And on the one hand, there's nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, you have to consider that you could be taking something away from them, taking an opportunity away from them. Another example, somebody in your family or a friend is battling to get a job, so you do magic in order to help them get that job, and they get the job. It pays nicely, it pays okay, it keeps them going, but by them getting that job, 2 or 3 weeks down the line, they could have had an opportunity come up which could have given them a better position. You don't know. You just don't know. best thing to do before you do anything is do a divination. Find out if by doing this magic it is going to be beneficial for the person, or if there's something else that is going to come along which is going to be more beneficial for them, and therefore doing the magic for them would counteract that, would not be the best option for them. And again, as I say, we could get into the whole discussion of fate versus free will. For instance, you do magic which affects another person, and by doing that it benefits you. Did you stop their path? Did you stop their free will? Let's say, for instance, you did some magic in order to change somebody's opinion about something that you've done, a particular artwork that you've done, for instance, or something which they could come along with and criticize because they're in a bad mood at that particular time. That person would come along and criticize your work. So you do some magic to alter that, and by doing that magic, you put them in a good mood. And through that good mood, they don't criticize your work. They find it good. They find it nice. They find it appealing, and they give it a good review. You changed their outcome. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this ethical? The fact is, we don't really know, especially if it's a random person. If it's not a specific person that you've targeted that you can do a divination for, it's a random person. Maybe you did the magic in a group working, and you affected a group of people who are coming to see your artwork, and one particular person was in a bad mood, and that bad mood, as I say, would affect the results of their review. But it put them in a good mood, which affected their results again. But that person could, or by putting them into a good mood, would affect the rest of their day. And by affecting it, it could actually be beneficial. They were in a bad mood. Maybe they went away from reviewing this artwork, from viewing this artwork, and they would have been malicious towards somebody, but by putting them in a good mood, that changed the whole situation. Problem is, by being malicious to that person could have gone on to do something that they were supposed to do, gone on and affected the world in some way which was beneficial. Okay, we don't know. This is the whole fate versus free will. By doing that magic, were you fated to actually do that magic in order to affect that person? So as I say, nobody can really answer this for you. If you are going to do magic for somebody, to bring them benefit, to help them, don't just go and do it because you think it's magic which is good for them. It might not be. Do a divination first. Find out if it's going to be beneficial for them and if it's going to be of the best benefit for them. And then make your decision from there. But as I say, the easiest and most ethical way to go about this is to ask the person if you can do that magic for them. And if they say no, they say no, don't do it. It's their choice, it's their will, it's that would then fall into the whole fate versus free will thing. You went through the process of asking the person if you can do the magic for them. They said no, therefore the lines of fate which are leading their life has led the whole process. You were fated to come to them, ask them, and they said no, therefore that's their fate. But at the same time, you could do a divination, which says that the magic you want to do would be beneficial for them. Therefore, you go and do the magic without their permission. Again, that's fated. You were fated to come along and do the divination, ask the questions, and want to do the magic, and the card said, or the tarot, the runes, or whatever divination you're using said it's beneficial. Therefore, you go and do the magic. It's all fated. We could view it that way. So, you know, if you've watched our Fate versus Free Will Black Hat chat, I'll link to it in the up the top here. Then you'll know how difficult the topic of fate versus free will is, and I kind of sit somewhere in the middle. It's not hard free will and it's not hard fate. It's somewhere in the middle. So, as I say, you've just got to make those decisions yourself. But consider all the options. Consider that, you know, don't think that just because what you want to do is good and beneficial for somebody doesn't mean it's actually going to be good and beneficial for them. A healing, helping them improve their life, it might actually affect their life in a particular way that is not beneficial for them. So you've got to stop, ask the questions. I remember many years ago, I was on a group, and the whole discussion of, you know, white witches came up, and white witches only do white magic, and therefore it's good magic. And the fact is, if you're going to do a healing for somebody, it could put their path or force their path into a particular direction which is going to be detrimental to them. On the other hand, doing baneful magic can actually help somebody. I once did a working it was a curse to kill cancer cells. You know, you can use baneful magic in particular ways that can help somebody. You can use good magic in a particular way which can be detrimental to somebody. So, you know, don't go with this black and white magic and left hand path and right hand path, and, you know, these dualities. There shouldn't be duality, there should just be balance. And, you know, it's a big problem because people just think it's good, therefore it can be done. There won't be anything detrimental, anything harmful to the person because it's good magic, it's white magic. Not always true. And same with both the opposite. So just make sure you're balanced, make sure you ask the questions. If you cannot ask the person, you know, there are certain situations where you cannot ask the person. The person may be in a coma, for instance, but your magic can help them. Therefore, do a divination. Find out if you can do the magic, first of all, if you're allowed to, and if you are allowed to, whether it will be, what benefit it will bring the person, or whether it will actually cause their path to actually go in a direction which will not be good for them. You know, something can be beneficial right now, immediately, but that one little step may just throw their life off course completely. So do a proper divination and just make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. And I'm going to end this here because otherwise I'm just going to carry on rambling. All right, so that's it for this week. Join us on the Black Hat Chat on Friday, 4 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. GMT if you can make it. And join us in the live chat there. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great one. Cheers for now.